Hi, I'm Dan Schwabe. I'm going to show you how to do a startup procedure on your new mobile command center. First thing you want to do is make sure your leveling pads are underneath all four corners under your leveling jacks. Next thing you're going to want to confirm is your main power is on, and it's under here in your battery compartment. That needs to be in the on position. Then we're going to open up this door here, deploy the stairs. We're going to release the handle, push in this blue pin. Bring the handle down to a place that you're comfortable with. Put the pin back in. Now we're going to come inside here to the main panel. If the panel is black, just touch it, it'll wake up for you. We're going to go to the power setting, and we're going to hit the auto startup, the green auto startup button. We're going to confirm that the area is clear around it, and we're going to hit next. It's going to turn on the lights. It's going to fire up the generator. And you got to give it a minute. It's a computer, so it's got to think a little bit. Next thing you'll hear is the transfer switch. There's the transfer switch. Now it asks us to level the vehicle. So we're going to do that down here at this panel. We're going to make sure the main power is on. Then we're going to hit auto level. First thing you're going to do is you're going to hear the airbags drop all the air out of the suspension. So the back of the truck's going to drop down, and then it's going to level it. Very important during this process that you don't have anybody in the vehicle. If you're doing a lot of moving around, it's going to give it a false reading, and it's not going to know if the leveling system is working properly. It's going to confuse it. So I recommend getting all this set up, then bring the troops in. In the meantime, it has turned on your HVAC system in the background. Okay, it's starting to move around a little bit. What we're looking for is a solid green foot in the middle of this circle. Here you go, we're level. So then we're going to come up here and hit next. And then we're going to hold OK to extend the street side rear slide out. You have to hold this for safety purposes. Once the slide out has gone out and down, you can release the button. Now we're going to hit next. We're going to do the street side front slide out. Same procedure. Okay, now we're going to hit next. And deploy the final slide out on the curbside front. Okay, now we're going to hit next because that is deployed. Then we would hit OK to deploy the awning. It's kind of windy outside, so if it's real windy, it's going to push it back in automatically, so we're not going to deploy it today. So then we're going to hit next. Now we're going to go out and raise the mast and deploy the sat dish. What I like to do is turn on the UPS and get the rack going while we go out and deploy the mast. So to do that, we're going to come in this rack cabinet, we're going to turn on the UPS. We're going to hit this button, and then we're going to hit turn on immediately. Okay. And that'll get the rack fired up. In the meantime, we're going to grab the key out of here to deploy the mast. Here's where we put the mast up. We're going to use the mast key, put it in here, hit the lookup light, turn it on, and then we're going to just turn the key. At first it's going to go up quickly, uses all the air in the tank of the compressor. Then if you want to do something else and come back to it, you can. Otherwise it just goes up more slowly. So while that's doing it, I think we're going to deploy the exterior compartment here. Pull this down, turn your monitor on. Go back to the mast. That's deployed. Now that the mast is raised, we're going to deploy the sat dish. That's over here in the rack. Just hit the power and hold it for 3 seconds. And that'll deploy the satellite dish. And while that's happening, we're going to hit next. Your startup procedure is complete. Hit OK. Now everything we've done through the auto startup we can do manually also. So on your power button here, you can turn the generator on and off, and this indicates if it's on generator or shore power. It also shows you your power, that you have enough power on both your auxiliary chassis and comms battery and your AC power. If you go to the lighting one, you can turn the lights on in each room, and there's different modes. So there's turns on half the lights, turns on the night lights, or turns on all the lights. It's the same in each room. And your scene lights can all be turned on or off from this location. Your HVAC, you can adjust each room separately, and your set points just like at your home. If you use the auto startup and shutdown, this will not change. It'll hold the previous settings. If you do it manually and you start it up manually, then you're going to have to go back and set this. Here's also where you turn on your heat, either your rooftop, which are your air conditioner units, your wall heaters, or your diesel fired furnaces. And then your block heater here, you can turn on and off from here. And here's where you would deploy your slide outs manually. There's a blinking light on the end of each slide out for safety. You can have it blinking. It'll always blink when you're deploying it, but once it's out, you can have it blinking. You can turn it off, or you can have it in solid mode. Then your last button is your miscellaneous. Here's where you could stow or deploy your mast, or stow your mast and your awning from here manually. The thing to look at here is if you ever have a problem and the truck won't start, this is everything that's deployed. So you have to make sure that every one of these is not on this list before the truck will start. There is an override button, but if you hit that button, then all your safeties are off. So very important, just check every door and everything to make sure it's stowed properly. So in the front room and the rear room, you have one of these AV matrix switchers. Basically, these are all your inputs on the truck, and these are all your outputs on the truck. So to adjust it, all you do is you hit input, and we're going to say input, we want the mast camera, which is number 3. Then we're going to hit output, and we want to put it on monitor number 5, and then we hit take. And it's for any of the monitors in the vehicle. You can do that same way. The other thing here is you have a mini panel here, IntelliTouch panel, so you can locally control things like your HVAC system, turns your light on and off from here, and your different light mode in here also. There's also one in the front row. Okay, now we're going to walk you through the shutdown procedure. Again, if your panel is dark, just hit it to wake it up. Go to the power page, hit the red button, auto shutdown. We're going to confirm that we want to do this. It says close the exterior workstations, so I'm going to go out and do that. I'm going to turn off our TV. Close the workstation there. Put this on the magnet here so it stays out of your way. Now we're going to retract the slide outs. We're going to start with the street side rear slide out. You're going to have to hold it as it comes in, and when it's stowing it, it'll tell you when to release the button to make sure it's sealed properly. And we're going to do the front ones, but we're always going to want to make sure our chairs are in the stowed position before we close the slide outs, or to stow the slide outs. To stow the stairs and these, the chairs and these, you're going to want to make sure this goes up into this area here. To do that, we're going to get it right next to it, and then we're going to release it like you're raising the chair. And that's all there is. Okay, now we're going to do the third slide out, the final slide out, the curbside front. So while we were closing the slide outs, the mast satellite dish automatically stowed itself. Now we're going to stow the leveling jacks, make sure your main power is on, and hit retract. Now the jacks are up. It's automatically going to turn off all the lights, the HVAC system, and your generator. Then the next thing we're going to want to do is go into here and shut off our UPS. So we're going to hit this button. It says off, hit OK. And that shuts your rack off. Then we're going to stow the handrail and the stairs on the way out. So we're down in here, we're going to hit OK. Now we're going to finish stowing the stairs. Pull the pin out. Slide this all the way up. Pick up the stairs. Then you can turn off your main power if required. Then don't forget to pick up your pads under your leveling jacks.